bienvenidos a la Daily Hustle. Soy Enrique Byrnes y presidente de esa mejor cerveza. No abate por No Filter Network. Miguelito San Dieguito, not with us this morning. Will the Thrill Clark, not with us this morning. But he will be with us later this evening. Regardless, here or not here, dead or alive, we properly salute our boys. And, well, each and every one of you. Yes, 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 yes. Woo! Remember this, folks. When we are juiceful, we are useful. And when we are juiceless, we are fucking useless. A very pleasant good morning to you on the 10th day of September, 2024. A lot happening today. 2 shows, some pickleball in between. I'm now down to working the Daily Hustle off of my iPhone. I'm not fucking with you guys. Right now, if you're watching live on No Filter Network, hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully you can see me. But that's what we have been reduced to. I have no internet. It's gone. No TV. The whole media station, according to my lovely wife, blew up. So I don't know what that means. I just know there's no internet and there is no television for the time being. So we'll do what we can with what we have, where we are, as the great Teddy Roosevelt once said. Buenos dias. This is today's Daily Hustle. It just went out this morning, actually 6 a.m. Today is Tuesday, September 10th, 2024. Today is officially World Suicide Prevention Day. Nearly 1 million people worldwide take their own lives each year. The reality is that a shit ton of people who inevitably commit suicide suffer from depression caused by chemical imbalances. That said, so many needless deaths are preventable with simple self-awareness first, as well as friends and family members paying attention to basic signs. Daily Hustle quote of the day: it's not always about you. Daily Hustle translation: on Sunday, I had the opportunity to join Dallas Braden on the A's broadcast, and he asked a question I certainly have gotten many times before. To paraphrase Dallas, he was wondering, after watching Moneyball for the 39th time and Hatterberg pinch hitting for me every time, he wanted to know if I ever wished that Hattie didn't pinch hit for me, and I was the one who hit the homer and became the big star of the game and the movie. My response? Not once. Sometimes in life, it's not about you. As a matter of fact, this wasn't even about Hattie. This was about the 2002 Oakland A's, a team of 25 dudes that came together and collectively worked toward one common goal: winning fucking baseball games. A few years ago, when I started doing a good amount of public speaking engagements, I created a presentation complete with slides and videos and made this moment the centerpiece of my overall message. Basically, I shared the clip from Moneyball when Art Howe tells me Hatterberg is going to hit for me. Then play the iconic Hattie game-winning walk-off homer to bring the streak to 20 games. If you have seen the movie, you understand. But the clip, the music, and Bill King's voice still brings chills to my body every time I watch it. Then I pause it. And in this one instance, I focus on me. When the ball was hit, I was at the far end of the dugout on one knee, then immediately fired off the top step, jumping around in circles like a 4-year-old boy at a bouncy house birthday party. Ultimately, I ended up on Billy Koch's back, celebrating as if I was the one who hit the homer. Yet, the reality is that not less than 2 minutes before the chaos, I was yanked from the game, and the guy who took my spot ended up being the hero. So, why was I celebrating as if I was the one who hit the homer? Well, because I fucking cared. I cared about the team. I cared about my teammates. I cared about winning. I cared about the streak. I cared about the fans. I cared about the city of Oakland. I cared about the A's organization, and I wasn't the only one. We had damn near 25 guys that cared the exact same way. Bottom line, it's fucking amazing what's possible when nobody cares who gets the credit. So there it is. Yeah, it was, I think, a special team that obviously, I don't want to say exceeded expectations, because I don't think we did. I actually felt as if we were the best team in baseball in 2002. Now, if you remember 2002, it was actually the World Series between the Giants, who I know we were better than, and the Angels, who we were the ones that actually won the division. So when you look at that, hey, it's all about getting hot at the right time. But when you have that many guys pulling the same direction, that's what matters. On top of that, we had 23 out of 25 guys every single time we go on a road trip go out together. Dinners, bars, clubs, didn't matter. A team that parties together wins together. The famous John Donati, who I coach LTD baseball with now. That is his famous line. So certainly one of the best teams, if not the best team that I ever played on. But when you want to figure out why a team like that is able to have success, it's the selflessness. It's dudes willing to accept the role. And we've all seen that guy, the one that gets pinch hit for and fucking comes back and throws his helmet and throws his bat and goes and mopes on the corner of the bench. What's that do for the morale of the team? It fucking kills it, right? That's not the guy that you're going to win with. Now, if you're not a competitor, you shouldn't be there. So, was I happy I got pinch hit for? No, not at all. But at the same time, I understood. I understood the matchup. I understood Grimsley was on the hill, throwing 97 mile per hour bowling ball sinkers. His numbers against righties were a lot better than lefties. You have to also be realistic. Now, of course I wanted that fucking at bat. Yeah. Yes, I'm all in. But if it doesn't happen, my opportunity will come. And in the early part of my career, I think that really helped me get through those times when, I don't know, I felt like I should be out there. And I knew I was capable of doing it. But at the same time, if it wasn't my chance and it wasn't my opportunity, I was going to sit there and I was going to support my teammates. But then this comes back to caring. You got to fucking care. You got to care about your team. You got to care about the boys. You got to care about the organization. You got to care about the city you're representing. That matters. So I think we had a lot of guys that cared. That's what made that team so special. All right, I'll look around the NFL from this past weekend. And obviously we had the Niners last night, but it was the Steelers 18-10 over the Falcons, covering the +3 spread on the road. The Bills end up getting it done 34-28, but it was the Cardinals covering the 6.5. Bears 24-17 over the Titans. Not a whole lot of offense, but they figured out a way to, damn, they were -3.5. That's bold. Patriots. This was a survivor poll killer. 16-10 over the Bengals. Bengals were 8.5-point favorites, and they fucking blew it. So I think it was something like 246,000 people eliminated from that ESPN survivor pool where you just got to pick the team that's going to win the game. Texans, they're in for a hell of a season. I mean, they have a really tough record, but they're coming off what was an amazing run last year. A lot of people are picking them a trendy Super Bowl pick. 29-27 over the Colts on the road. The Colts covered the +3, though. How about that? Dolphins 2017 over the Jags after the Tyreek Hill debacle. Best celebration was him getting cuffed up. And it's not funny. I don't think it's fucking funny at all. I think the celebration was funny. The police incident was not. It's disturbing. Now, and I don't know who's to blame. I will tell you this, when I get pulled over by an officer, whatever he tells me to do, I'm going to fucking do it. And I'm not going to lip off with the guy. It's once you start doing that, you're fucked. I don't care if you're Scotty Scheffler. I don't care if you're Tyreek Hill. It does not matter. I don't care if you're white. I don't care if you're black. Just don't fucking fuck with these guys. I think that's a real good moral of the story when you look at both of those incidences. Saints 47-10 over the Panthers. Holy shit. They were 4-point favorites, but went out and blew the Panthers away. Giants, they looked like shit. Go down 28-6 to the Vikings. Chargers, Jim Harbaugh's debut 22-10 over the Raiders. They cover the 3.5. The Vikings obviously covered the 1.5. Seahawks, I felt like this was one of the better plays. Oh, Seahawks -6. I just love the Seahawks on the money line. It was kind of like the Niners last night. The Seahawks were not going to lose this fucking game to the Broncos. 26-20 up in Seattle. Browns, no bueno. Got pounded by the Cowboys. Cowboys cover the -1.5, 33-17 in Cleveland. The Commanders go down to the Bucks at home. The Bucks were -4. They win 37-20. And then it was the Lions 26-20 over the Rams. Jared Goff. Lions could be a real easy team to root for, obviously. They went down to the Niners in the NFC Championship game last season. Then last night it was the San Francisco 49ers 32. The New York Jets 19. The Niners cover the -4. The over 43.5 hits with the late field goal by the Niners. Around Major League Baseball, Phillies 2-1 over the Rays. It was the Mets who stay hot 3-2 over the Blue Jays. Cubs 10-4 over the Dodgers. Pirates 3-2 over the Marlins. Red Sox 12-3 over the Orioles. Reds 1-0 over the Braves. Guardians 5-3 over the White Sox. The Yankees 10-4 over the Royals. And the Angels 6-2 over the Minnesota Twins, as well as the Cubs 10-4 over the Dodgers in LA. And by the way, we're brought to you by Bet Online, the #1 online gambling destination. So I just gave you the scores, went over some of the odds. If you want to lay the axe and get the latest news, scores, odds, updates, live odds, all of it, go to Bet Online. Type in the promo code BLEAV, capital BLEAV, for 50% off your first deposit. And while you're there, if you're a degenerate, somewhat like me, and you want to play some online blackjack, poker, online slots, it's all there for you. I'm not going to tell you how to fucking waste your money. But if that's something you're into, carve aside a little budget and go have at it. Bet Online, your #1 gambling destination. Okay, we'll do a quick T3. And I'm already late for my pickleball game. But Peyton Manning last night on the Manning Cast, inspired, of course, by No Filter Network. This is a true fucking story. Peyton knew all about No Filter and then went and did it at ESPN, as he should. But he loved the concept of being able to sit back and watch it on the couch. So, Peyton, thank you for proving our theory out, and you guys have been doing a fucking fantastic job. Okay, it says here, Brandon Ayuk finally got paid this offseason right before the San Francisco 49ers started the season after a long drama-filled holdout. And on Monday, we finally got to see the wideout back in action. And he nearly snagged a diving touchdown grab that he didn't. He dropped it in the second quarter. Peyton Manning then did not mince words on the first Manning Cast of the year. Quote, get signed, get in training camp. There's a reason for training camp. You need it. Get those contracts done earlier so you get in training camp. We don't drop balls on opening night. You're still catching balls in a high school field from a quarterback that's 45 years old. You're not catching balls from your quarterback. Tell him how you really feel, Peyton. All right. I know what Peyton's saying. I totally get it, and I totally fucking agree. But you have to remember, Brandon Ayuk is trying to get his. The game of football is very short-lived. You have a small window in your life to ideally enough money where you don't have to work another day for the rest of your fucking life. So if you're Brandon Ayuk and you have this bargaining leverage at this point, you gotta do what you gotta do. And I'm going to defend him and say he did everything he could do to prepare himself for opening night. Now, was he in camp? No, fuck no. But he also had to think about his children and his grandchildren and maybe even their children down the road. And, right? Like, I totally understand where someone like Peyton Manning can so easily say that. But I think Peyton would also fucking tell you he threw to many dudes where Peyton was getting his and he's the highest paid player in the NFL. And these guys are trying to figure out they may or may not have a job next year. So I also feel, was it an easy catch? No, it wasn't at all. Is it a catch that we've seen him make 1,000 times? Yeah. For Ayuk, it's easy. But I just felt like, he took some unfair criticism. And remember this, and I think this is more of a player thing. Players got to back to players. So when a player's not in camp, players got to back to players. Yeah, you don't fucking throw stones. You say, hey, look, he's doing what he has to do. He's thinking about his future. He's doing what he can do for his family. And that's the only way to put it. It's not the line that the fans want to hear. I understand that. But this is one of those situations where, in my humble opinion, I say Ayuk made the right choice. Eventually, they got the deal done. Now, the question becomes what you're haggling over, right? So, without getting into those details, it was interesting to see. Okay, the other kind of big story was, I think it went on Sunday. Matt Chapman delivered a homer for the homer-happy Giants. And then what? Where did he go? The delivery room. The Pacific Stock Exchange, once called San Francisco home, this Giants Pacific Stock Exchange planted its flag in San Diego as a flex for brought a 7-6 victory of the Padres on Sunday afternoon at Petco. Matt Chapman belted a 2-run homer before Gerard Encarnacion and Luis Matos drove back-to-back homers as the Giants scored 6 runs in the 4th inning and held one to snap a 4-game losing streak. Yeah, they were in a tough little stretch here. But it says it wasn't the highlight of the day for Chapman. Quote, I'm trying to catch a flight, Chapman said postgame. We might be having a baby. What a tale Chapman can someday tell his child about a 6-run, 3-homer inning when the Padres' Joe Musgrove went from unhittable to unwatchable. I'm sure he'll probably use those words too. The fabulous force started innocently enough for the Giants after Musgrove set down the first 10 batters he faced, with 6 of them being strikeout victims. Heliot Ramos sent a harmless fly ball to right field, and Fernando Tatis Jr. then, for some reason, wasn't wearing sunglasses on a sweltering afternoon when the first pitch temperature was 91. Well, hold on a second. Temperature has nothing to do with the sunglasses. Tatis lost the ball in the sun, but by the time he gathered it, Ramos was on second base with a solar double, they call it. Fernando, these are your new glasses, bro. I picked them up yesterday at Shields. You gotta fucking wear them. Come on, man. You don't make these pimp-ass shades like this, and then you're on the field, you have this awesome opportunity to just show them off to everybody. Don't leave it to me to have to do that and do the promotion here on the Daily Hustle. You gotta do it yourself. Put your fucking shades on. Oh, so the irony, I ended up costing the Pods bad. But the shades are sick. I mean, look at these bad boys. Literally just got them yesterday. And I'm not even, these weren't even sent to me. The first Tatises, actually I take it back. 2 pairs of Tatises have been sent to me. And I want to thank Fernando for those. These, I'm a supporter of the brand now, right? You get me with the first couple free shit, and I'm like, yeah, I'll keep supporting. I just randomly saw them yesterday. I was going to pick up some Oakleys, and I was trying to decide between 2 or 3 different pair. And then I asked the guy, I said, do you guys have 100%? He's like, oh, yeah. He's like, collection's kind of sucky is over in this corner. And I went and looked. I'm like, oh, sucky? What the fuck is wrong with it? Boom. No brainer. Went ahead and put these on. Okay. Lastly here. This was cool. Went out to the Coliseum on Sunday. What a emotional experience. I didn't think it would be, but ended up bringing Biscuit, Johnny Gall, made the drive from Half Moon Bay. And there's this one part on the 880 where kind of come over, it's not like a hill, but right, this little thing. And then I would see the Coliseum for the first time. And I used to make this drive just countless times from HMB to the Coliseum. And for whatever reason, I would put on Kenny Chesney, Anything But Mine. And I'm like, boys, listen up. And so I would put the song on. I said, as soon as I saw the Coliseum, I put it. And I used to roll. I was rolling in this convertible. And I would have the top down and my beanie on, the glasses, just fucking cruising, feeling it, music blaring. And so to make that drive one last time was pretty sweet. Pulled down to the Coliseum, got off at 66, the parking lot, F lot. And I walked in there, and it's amazing. It just all the feels came back. Deetra Page, who's been with the team since '98, so was there. But her and I started the same year, basically, right? Because I signed with the A's in '98. She was there to greet me, and then Ryan Griffin, who I coach LTP with, great dude, really good baseball coach. Diehard A's fans. I told him to meet me at the F lot. He could come in with me and he'd be part of our entourage for the day. So Ryan comes with this kid Miles, and Miles is decked out. He's got the Kelly Green A's jersey, A's hat, just looking clean. And Ryan has this bright green shirt on that says Sell. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? You can't wear that. We were sitting in the owner's suite. So I'm like, bro, do you need a shirt or whatever? Then Deetra walks up and she kind of just, he with you? I'm like, yeah, kinda. She turns and looks at her eyes. She goes, you can't wear that? So we got him a different shirt. We went in, cool day. Did a sit-down interview with Chris Townsend. He does a fantastic job, by the way. Boys got to grub up on some breakfast burritos. They were playing in one of the suites, some kind of catch game. Went and signed some autographs with Dallas Braden, Adam Rosales. What a salt-of-the-earth guy Adam Rosales is. Obviously, I've known Braden for a long time. Really good dude, really great broadcaster. From there, we went down onto the field. And just to stand out there with the LTP boys and walk out to left field and took a picture with Biscuit, but it was really special to have the feels come back of being out there and the memories and everything else. But the one thing I'll tell you, it was awesome. It also was like beautiful. Clay, the head groundskeeper and has been for years at the Coliseum, he's done such a fucking great job with that field and always has, but it's as nice as I've ever seen it. And so then to go in to the dugout area, get to see Michael Zagaris, A's photographer, Niners photographer, and the thing that really just reminded me of how much I love this game and how much I love playing this game and how much I loved the whole experience of being at the ballpark and everything was seeing Mark Kotze, A's manager, seeing Bobby Crosby, who I played with, seeing Eric Martin, who I played with, seeing Mike Aldretti, who was my hitting coach in Arizona, and just bullshit. I sat down on the bench for no more than 5 minutes. I could have sat there all fucking day, man. And I don't like sitting down, you guys know that. But just the basic shit talking to catching up to all of it, just being at the ballpark with the boys. That was my favorite part. And I think if anything, that's what I'm going to miss. as far as the Coliseum's concerned, I want to give the A's a lot of credit because I think they've made the Coliseum super, super, super fucking cool. And watching the game and going through that experience at the Coliseum, it's sweet. It really is. And as much shit as we want to give it and everything else, it's still a serviceable major league ballpark. And, I think the saddest thing, it's not necessarily the closing of the Coliseum or anything else. Obviously, the A's need a new stadium. It's the workers. It's the security guards. It's the longtime A's employees that a lot of them aren't sure if they're going to have a fucking job. So I got a real good sense of the feeling of the employees of the A's. And it goes to show you, and this is why I think it's really important if you're going to be a politician or whatever it is you do in life, if you're a boss, get into the fucking trenches. Get in there with the people that actually do it, and they're the ones that are going to give you the sense of what's really happening. And so I hope that John Fisher, David Cavall, I hope they do this right. I hope they take care of their fucking employees. That matters. And I know, for example, like Clay, he's not going to have a job next year. That's bothersome. Somebody who's been there for that long, has done that fantastic of a job, has really become, just one of the dudes. And, now no job. So he'll be all right. And it was cool to see his kid's playing at UC Davis now. So overall, just really, really, really fun. I had an opportunity to throw out the first pitch. I tried to launch it out of the stadium, and I thought I had a chance. I legitimately thought there was a possibility that I was going to be able to throw the ball out of the entire fucking stadium. Well, I got out to the mound, and I launched this fucker. Little janitor roll at the end, and I'm like, this is going third deck. I don't think I left the first deck. No excuses. I don't know what to tell you. It came out of my hand great. It felt great. I just think it might be a little farther than I think. So I still think I'd probably throw a baseball 300 feet, right? But that's 60 feet to home plate. There's probably another 60 feet back. So we're already dealing with like halfway where this ball's going to go. I'm at 120 by the time it leaves the field. So you go another 120 feet up. Right now we're at 240. Another 60 feet, 300. I mean, that's my max. I don't know. I would tell you. No excuse. But it was fun. I posted that on IG this morning. And then Amelia Schimmel, who I worked with at MLB Network, so great to see her. I just listened to it for the first time this morning. She goes, just a bit outside. Just thought it was perfect for the moment. So anyhow, then I was able to go on, radio and TV and see Vince and Ken Korak, and then sit there with Dallas and, Chris for the television side of things. And that's where the entire Daily Hustle from today was inspired. So that's it. Typically late as usual for Pickle, but figured I had to spend some time recapping this weekend. We are on tonight. It is happening. Thrill and I, let's see here. We're coming on 6 p.m. Pacific time. 8 p.m. Thrill time, as I like to say. And we have the Milwaukee Brewers in San Francisco with a 6:45 p.m. start. So we'll lead you up to the start of that game and then hit the first few innings with you as well. Deuce is wild tonight. That's it. Everyone have a fantastic day.